everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Alicia and I'm a sous chef with a sweet tooth. And today we're going to be tackling some keto pancakes. But not just regular keto pancakes, I had to upgrade them with a citrus compound butter and a bourbon maple whipped cream. So let's get started. To start this off, we're not going to start with the pancakes because those only take a couple seconds to cook, so you're going to want to have all your other stuff ready first. I got softened salted butter, and I have an orange and a lemon. We're going to be zesting these into the butter and adding a little bit of both juices to it, and we're going to taste it and see if you need a little bit of sugar. This kind of stuff you don't really need recipes for. I will create one once I make these for you to follow, but you can literally put anything you want in them. You can make any kind of flavoring you want, make it sweet, make it more savory. I actually got this idea from, if anybody watches Good Mythical Morning, they have a Mythical Kitchen channel, and he did White Claw pancakes with like a White Claw syrup on top, and he made a citrus compound butter also. I got that idea from that, and then I was struggling with the pancake recipe. I started out with a recipe that I found online. They said, I've cracked the code for, great keto pancakes, and it was with oat fiber. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy some oat fiber, see if I can make these. And they were okay, but I'm like, I can make better pancakes. It tastes more like pancake. Tried probably 8 different recipes. I kept minusing the oat fiber, and at the end, I just cut the oat fiber out altogether because it gives it a strange flavor to it. And I like traditional pancakes. I finally got the recipe that I think is the best. We'll get started on the compound butter, and then we'll do the whipped cream, and then we'll do the pancakes. So my butter is so soft because it is so warm here that I'm just gonna be doing this by hand, but you can easily whip this with a stand mixer or a hand mixer. Just gonna zest right into here, juice some of these, mix it up, give it a taste. Like I said, you can customize it. It already smells delicious. Just the essence of the orange as you grate it smells so good. And the reason I chose the orange and lemon and then the bourbon maple whipped cream is because if anybody's ever had an old fashioned, you put a little bit of orange essence around the rim with your bourbon. So I thought it would pair really well. And this is something I kind of thought of because my boyfriend loves old fashions. I think he will really enjoy this. I actually haven't made it for him yet. I told him the idea, and of course he was excited about it. Make sure you get all that off the back of your zester. Okay, I think we're only going to use a little bit of juice from each one. Always squeeze cut side up so that you catch all the seeds. If you're squeezing really hard, you might want to put your hand under it to catch the seeds. I'm not putting a ton in here, so I'm not going to squeeze too hard. Save that for another recipe. Same thing with your orange. You don't need a lot. And I'm doing a whole stick of butter, but we're definitely not going to need all this, so this will easily keep in your fridge for a long while. We're just going to mix that up. You actually could even do a little whisk with this. Let's give it a good whipping. And give this a taste. I'm going to add just a couple drops of my liquid stevia. I like everything sweet though. You can omit it. That is good. Nice and citrusy. Okay, we're gonna set that aside and get on to the whipped cream. Now, a trick to making whipped cream whip really easy for you is to keep everything chilled. So I had this 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and the bowl in the refrigerator. The biggest reason I wanted to make different stuff for the top of these pancakes was because I tried this Locanto maple syrup, and it's not like regular maple syrup. I was still looking for that flavor. So I picked up some maple extract. I am going to measure, that way when I write the recipe that will be down in the description box below, you will have an accurate recipe to go by. I'm just going to start with a 1/2 teaspoon, and we'll see how that goes. And then also I got my bourbon here. I don't know a lot about bourbon, but I grabbed the one that my boyfriend has on our liquor shelf. It smells good, so I think it'll go really well with the maple. And then normally I would add Locanto powdered sugar, but my Thrive box is late. So I'm gonna be adding some of the stevia drops because I don't wanna use granular because granular will make it grainy. So I'm gonna measure those too for it. I'm gonna start whipping and then add the other stuff as we go. It's already getting thick, so I'm going to start with a half a teaspoon of the liquid stevia. And give this a little taste, see how the sweetness is. Ooh, it is really good already. That maple extract is awesome. That is way better than a maple syrup. If you guys have one that you really like, let me know in the comments below, because I haven't found one yet. And I bought one that was sweet leaf, stevia sweetened, and apparently it has tons of carbs in it. I was so bummed. Says it's not good. I even put it in my carb manager and it said to avoid. I'm gonna just start with a teaspoon and see where that gets us. I don't want it to be too overpowering with alcohol. Okay, it's almost there, so one more taste. You can't taste the bourbon too much. So I'm gonna add one more teaspoon. Okay, so you want your whipped cream nice and thick. You don't want it to move on you at all. That's how you know it's done. You don't want to take it past this because you could turn it into butter. So you want to make sure you get stiff peaks, but you don't take it any further than that. I'm going to give this one last try, see if there's enough bourbon in there. I might need to do a little tiny bit more, but oh no, that is perfect. Oh, that's so good. And literally, this is just like something you could do. You could flavor this however you want. Any combination that you like, you can do any extract you have, you can make it that flavor. I just wanted to kind of forego the maple syrup and just use this. And I think that's gonna be my go-to from now on. Okay, so we're gonna pop this into the refrigerators to stay nice and chilled. We're gonna get on to making the actual pancakes. This recipe is pretty much like any other pancake recipe. You mix all your dry ingredients together, which I have, like I said, I cut out all the oat fiber and I added in a little bit of unflavored whey protein powder. I used Isopure, which has become my favorite like baking protein powder to use. All the links for all the stuff I have is gonna be below, the stuff that I got on Amazon. Some of this stuff I got from Thrive Market, so those won't be there. I got coconut flour, baking powder, some granular Locanto sweetener, which I also used allulose before and it works out good too. A little bit of xanthan gum and some salt. I'm using unsalted butter, so if you use salted butter, just omit the salt completely. And then I have 2 eggs, and then I have vanilla extract. The only difference there, like I said, I got it from Mythical Kitchen. He used the White Claw, which has carbonation in it. So I'm like, I got club soda in my refrigerator, why don't I use that? You can literally use anything with carbonation in it. It'll just, pancakes will taste like that flavor. So this just won't impart any flavor, but it imparts some fluffiness to your pancakes. I weighed out and sifted all my dry ingredients into here, and I just made sure to whisk that real good so that your xanthan gum gets incorporated real well. And then I have my 2 eggs here with like a little whisk, which is always better to whisk your eggs before you add them to dry ingredients, just because it makes it a more harmonious mixture. You won't get streaks of egg yolks and egg whites and stuff. I got my 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter that I melted. I'm gonna mix that into the eggs. And then I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Again, probably you can use the maple too. That'd probably be good. Give it a good whisk. And then you're gonna whisk these into your dry ingredients. It's gonna be really thick, especially when that coconut flour starts to absorb. I'll give it a good whisk though. Get all those lumps out. And then 4 ounces or a half cup of your club soda. I added 2 ounces at a time. You kind of want to make it the thickness of a pancake batter. So everybody knows, they've grown up with pancakes, know the thickness you need. So that's how I kind of gauged how much club soda I used. Again, the coconut flour takes a little while to absorb, so it might get thick as you let it sit. And this makes them nice and fluffy. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit for a while we get our pan heated. I also use a 1/4 cup measuring cup to make sure all my pancakes are pretty much the same size. This should make about 12 pancakes, and that comes out to exactly 1 carb per pancake. So it works out good. Now we're gonna be going over to the stove. The hardest part about pancakes is getting your skillet temperature correct. So I'm gonna be using some avocado oil spray. You can use whatever grease you'd like. Spray it generously. I don't want no stickage. The batter's been sitting for a couple of minutes and it got even thicker. See? Feels warm enough to me. We're gonna try it out. So I just fill up like halfway on the 1/4 cup, not even. Make about 4-inch pancakes. I think it was hot enough. Now these act just like regular pancakes, which is the cool part. They get the bubbles around it when they're kind of ready and they pop, and that's when you want to flip them. This is the most nerve-wracking thing to ever do on camera.
Cook, baby, cook. Cook, baby, cook.
They look like they're about ready to flip. There we go. One flipped. Woo, nice. These last 2 pancakes were a little bit, you know, outer edge. So they took a little bit longer to cook, I think. Gotta move that guy over. Flip them. Yeah, see, they're not cooked like on the edge here. That's the problem with doing a big pan on one burner. They'll taste delicious either way. There you go. See, they like fluff up just like regular pancakes. It's awesome. Make sure you have a plate ready to put them on. There you go. I thought for sure Birch Bender keto pancakes would be like the best. And they're made with almond flour, and I'm just not a huge fan of the texture of almond flour. This batch should turn out even better. Your skillet is primed and ready. It's always the first ones that don't turn out right? Or the prettiest. Also, they'd probably come out a lot better if you did them one at a time, but who has time for that, right? I do have it now at 3. Now that our pan is kind of warmed up, kept it a little bit lower. I'm gonna move my pan around a little bit too to try to get a little bit more even cookage on these. Okay, one more round. Make sure you always have a spatula hanging around next to you too. You want to get all that batter out of your bowl. You got exactly 12 pancakes. You gotta be courageous and no fear when you flip pancakes. You just gotta go for it. If you hesitate, or just make a mess. Okay, it's time to show you how to plate these guys up. Now, of course, I'm gonna show you the chefy way to do it. These are our beautiful stack of pancakes here. Now you can do a serving, probably 6 little guys. And it's just me and my boyfriend, so I'm using my hands. So you take some of your compound butter, spread it over your warm pancakes. All that pretty citrus zest in there. There you go. Then you take your maple bourbon whipped cream, take a big scoop like that. And you do a vanilla of whipped cream right on top. There you go. And what would be even more over the top is doing a little bit of fresh orange zest right over the top. And there you have keto pancakes with citrus compound butter and bourbon maple whipped cream. Time to try these bad boys. So I get to try these first before I invite my boyfriend in. I actually have not had these because it was just an idea that popped in my head. I have made the keto pancakes. They're delicious just with maple syrup, even though I'm not a huge fan of the little Canto syrup. Pancakes are just delicious. Oh, it's gonna be so good. That is so good. Wow. This is like a perfect brunch meal to have for your friend. And no one would know this is keto. There's no way. I mean, it's amazing. Tastes so good. Oh, I can't wait to scarf this whole plate down. I hope you guys make this recipe at home. It is definitely a game changer in keto breakfast / brunch foods. But man, if you like this video and you try this stuff, please comment below, hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll hopefully be back soon with another keto dessert. Bye, guys.